they put on quite a show as well. Russell Wilson, 6-game win streak his Seahawks on coming into Atlanta.
From Richmond, Virginia.
There you go.
I thought you were going to say that. I had to make sure.
I was going to.
You never missed that opportunity, do you?
No, never.
Matt Ryan looking for his very first playoff win today. Not at all afraid to go after Richard Sherman.
And that's the best way to attack them, with a comeback route. Big corners, takes them longer to get out of their breaks, get some separation.
That was to Roddy White for those 13. Then Matt Ryan coming back across the middle. There's Richard Sherman in the last second, knocking that one away.
Well-designed play. Richard Sherman, long, fast player, able to step in and
great makeup
deflect that ball. And he's telling you, everybody right now, you're crazy to throw at me. Don't throw at me, you're crazy.
And one of the knocks on Matt Ryan had been not playing well in the postseason. He had more interceptions and touchdowns in his postseason career. Coming into this one, picked off there by Bobby Wagner.
Not a good start for Matt Ryan. A little bit of miscommunication with Tony Gonzalez. But you look at this right here. There's 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 Seahawks in that area. Go to the outside, Matt Ryan.
One-on-one coverage.
Go to the outside. You have one-on-one coverage.
Seahawks offensively, who do you think might have been the leading rusher for Seattle today?
Well, I would have to guess
Russell Wilson.
There you go.
Matt. Tom is always cheating.
I wasn't cheating.
Marshawn Lynch would have been a great.
Yeah, if he would have handed the ball to Marshawn Lynch, then the guess would have been Marshawn Lynch. But since he didn't,
we just have a big stat sheet right here that lets us know.
Wilson gets 17 there. Next play. Here's Marshawn Lynch. It's all good for the Seahawks until right there.
Uh-oh. That's got to be on his mind, does it not, after fumbling at the 1-yard line in Washington last week?
These are the type of fumbles you see the most, because they don't see that trailer coming from behind. They get over the field, you think about making a guy miss, but you have people chasing.
Now this is 3rd down and 14, and that's a perfectly placed ball by Matt Ryan to Roddy White.
Good route, good throw, good catch. The drive is on.
Chase Kaufman, guys, down the right side, his only catch of the day.
Good throw,
Talk about catch.
Wow. And not just the catch, but the football sense to tap both toes. That's a big man.
You know what, Tom? It's amazing what these tight ends
it's crazy
can do nowadays.
If you don't have one, you can't play the game.
If you could only find Tony Gonzalez in the back of the end zone, maybe. Like right there.
You just talked about it, didn't you?
You know what, Tom? It's amazing.
It is amazing. It really is. And if you see this play from a different angle, you'll see Matt Ryan going down there. He stopped, rolling to his left, stopped, threw the football, perfect spot, and Tony Gonzalez.
Great chemistry with Gonzalez, and knowing to just put that ball up and he'll react to it better than the defender can react.
Jacquizz Rodgers getting into his own beast mode right about there.
Oh!
Little man wins.
You said that's not officially being trucked.
No,
because
it's not.
Earl Thomas didn't fall backwards.
Because they collided, and you don't watch the replay, and there was a stalemate, like right here. Now, if Earl Thomas gets up on his back, going backwards, that's truck. Right there, he just falls off.
Jacquizz Rodgers keeps going. And that was Red Bryant and Earl Thomas, two Pro Bowlers trying to bring down that little running back.
Little powerful.
Same drive carried over into the second quarter. Matt Ryan looking deep to Julio Jones. It turned out to be his top receiver on the day. But there's that man, Richard Sherman, getting that left hand in late.
And what is he going to tell you, Tom?
He'll tell you, you're crazy for throwing it at me. Crazy.
Next Seattle drive. Russell Wilson liked his tight end today. Zach Miller, over 100 yards, getting 34 right there.
You know, that was really the only combination that was working in the first half through the air for the Seahawks.
Surprisingly, a weak area of that Atlanta defense. The difference, the area between the linebackers and the safety over the middle. Spot Russell Wilson attacked all day.
Atlanta defense, the rush defense in particular, stepping up on 3rd and 1, stuffing Ryan Sherman. And then on the next play, 4th down and 1, Pete Carroll was trying to call timeout.
Should have called timeout.
To get Lynch back in the backfield, but Lynch is in the game on 4th down, but they give it to William.
I hate that play.
William Moore with a big tackle on Michael Robinson on 4th and 1.
Not that it was called by Seattle, but in general across the league. I hate the little fullback dive because it never works. Never works.
And no momentum. Michael Turner had some momentum.
That's a young man who's built like a fullback, and that was a dive play, and that won't work.
Had a chance to try to tackle Michael Turner a couple of times.
Yeah. Didn't want to do that, did you?
I'm not going to tell you what happened.
Yeah. Matt Ryan regathers himself.
You're crazy to throw it.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
This was a great battle all day long. Whether or not it was Richard Sherman or Julio Jones.
Where's your safety help? Cam Chancellor, he needs you.
You know what Roddy did well there? He stayed on that stem of that route as long as he could to keep Sherman on his hip and ultimately shook him at the end. And Richard Sherman giving props where they're due.
A sincere clap?
Absolutely not. That was kind of a golf clap, wasn't it?
Round of applause.
Russell Wilson coming back to Zach Miller. That's 20 yards.
Drop it to the floor.
And John Abraham watching from the sideline. Instead of rushing that passer, 8 plays later. Finally, it's Russell Wilson. Babineau brings it down.
Sack. And the reason why it's so big is that it keeps them from allowing the field goal unit to get on the football field. If that was an incompletion, the clock stopped. Now the clock continues to run. They don't have enough time with 12 seconds left to get a playoff.
Amazing.
No points.
That's it.
Three times the Seahawks were in Atlanta Falcons territory. Twice in the red zone, they came away with 0 first-half points.
Pete Carroll heading the locker room with his team trailing 20-0.
Been there before, though.
Because last week in Washington, they were down 14-0.
Been there before.
Third quarter, Seahawks starting strong, 2nd down and 9. Wilson wants to throw, but why throw when you can do this?
When I travel a lot, and, something about having jet lag, the way to get jet lag out of your system.
Just stay up all night.
No, just go get a sweat.
Oh,
and I think that first half was a little bit of a sweat to get that jet lag out of the Seattle Seahawks. Different team in the second half.
Yes, they
There's
were.
Golden State, 29-yard touchdown. The Seahawks on the board, trailing 20-7.
Well, this was absolutely necessary. The first drive of the second half, they had to put a number on the board, and they did to get back in the game.
2nd and 10. Julio Jones gets 21 down to the Seattle 23.
Here we go. Momentum swinging by each and every drive. Seattle has a little bit of momentum after scoring the opening drive, and here comes the Atlanta Falcons machine again.
Tony Gonzalez, good hands there. 11-yard catch on 3rd down and 9.
Prime example of great players beating great covers.
2 plays later.
Nice
call. Dirk Cutter. Shovel pass. Jason Snelling. Touchdown.
We've seen this all year. Dirk Cutter, great play calling for this Atlanta Falcon offense. Prime example of a great play call right there.
Falcons lead now back to the halftime lead at 20.
Shifting back to the Falcons, right?
Fourth quarter, 27-7. Big fourth quarter for Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Play action. Wants to throw it, but a wide open lane to the end zone. It's now 27-14.
That play is possible. That touchdown is scored because Marshawn Lynch does a great job picking up the edge rusher.
Matt Ryan going to help the Seahawks now. Kind of a careless effort out here to this side. Picked off easily by Earl Thomas.
Yeah, not a throw you want to see Matt Ryan make. You have to see Earl Thomas, safety with great range, being over top of the cornerback. Play that we saw last week, him doing a great job of making the interception, helping out his corner and protecting his cornerbacks.
Look at this throw. Velocity, timing, accuracy, all there, 24 yards.
They asked Russell Wilson to play from the pocket for the majority of this game, and he fared quite well from the pocket.
The Atlanta defensive line made him.
Like this play a lot, too. Didn't like it downfield. Dumped it off to Robert Turbin. There he goes, 30 yards.
That's the benefit of having a quarterback that can buy a few extra seconds because the back will bleed out and you can get him the ball, or the tight end can sneak out after chipping, and big plays are there to be had.
This tight end is Zach Miller. 8 catches, 142 yards, and that 3-yard touchdown.
Play created by the time he had to throw the ball.
Big Mo.
Great time in the pocket.
Momentum on the side of the Seahawks. It's a team that plays with great energy and feeds off of that momentum.
3rd down and 13. Matt Ryan does get a completion here to DJ Davis, but it only goes for 6 yards, and the Falcons were forced to punt.
You get the sense they were getting a little tight at this point, expecting the worst to happen. Hearing all of the sounds of people telling them they never won a playoff game.
Ghost of playoff pass.
Atlanta defense now stepping up. Thomas Deku with the last second.
Boy, I love seeing great safety play, and Thomas Deku made a great play by safety and shaking a little bit.
A little early today.
Yeah, but you know.
3rd down and 10. Little half roll to the right, coming back across the middle. Sidney Rice just going to drop this one, but the catch would not have mattered anyway because Seattle called Max Unger illegal chop block.
Cheating.
Yes, that is cheating.
The Seahawks were cheating at that point.
Next Atlanta drive, looking for Roddy White there, a 3rd down and 8. You don't mind that throw?
Well, Roddy White did not get behind the 1st down marker, but the throw was actually pretty decent. Under duress. They had lost their rhythm at that particular time, the Falcons had.
2 minutes now. Here comes Russell Wilson across the middle. Golden Tate gets 19.
And they have all the momentum. The Seattle Seahawks, great play once again. Plenty of time by Russell Wilson to let his receivers get open. Golden Tate, one of the best guys with running after the catch.
He had so many great plays today. This might be the best one, though. Somehow escaped Sean Witherspoon, who had him, then just dumps it off to Marshawn Lynch. He gets 24 yards inside the 5.
It's all about buying that extra second.
General managers, coaches, if you don't have a mobile quarterback, go get yourself one.
Next play, coming back to Marshawn Lynch in a more traditional way. Right up the middle, you see the ball come out. You also see a signal for a touchdown. You take another look. Does he get the football across before it comes out?
Yeah.
I say yes. The official, Darren says yes. The officials will ultimately look at it and say yes.
No, what are you doing?
Oh my. The yeses have it.
Ruling on the field is confirmed.
Not a
Touchdown,
chance,
Seattle.
25 seconds left on
But
the
you got 2
28-yard
timeouts.
line.
And where are they going to throw the ball? Matt Ryan,
the
read your scouting report. Every time he goes to the corner route,
All right.
they get a chunk of yards.
22 yards and a
2-minute
timeout
drill.
called.
18 seconds left with 1 timeout. The middle of the field is still available if you want it.
Key, because you can come back and find Tony Gonzalez and not worry about the clock. He gets 19. When he's down, you call timeout.
And it's a great job by Mike Nolan to hold on to those timeouts, to have them for a situation like this.
And because of what we saw earlier in the game, they're going to kick this with 13 seconds left with no timeouts. They didn't want to be caught without being able to get their field goal team on the field.
Which happened to Seattle in the first half.
Yes, it
in the
did.
first half.
Matt Bryant, 49 yards out, up and in. Now Atlanta leading by 2. That's how you get a hug from your owner.
Yes.
You go 2 for 2 in the game-winning
Nice
drive.
jacket he has.
Kick it deep, or
What
at
is
least
this? What is that?
Give me a little bit longer squib than
We're
that.
trying to figure that out.
He flubbed it.
Yeah.
What did the coach say in the press conference about that?
Oh, the chuckle hut was open. There's
Yeah.
big smiles and handshakes. I mean, as it should be in the
The
Atlanta
chuckle
Falcons.
hut.
Well, Russell Wilson had a short completion before this, and then only time for the Hail Mary, and the leading receiver for the Falcons on the day ends this one in fitting form. That's Julio Jones with the interception.
You bought a ticket to this game, you got your money's
Yes,
worth.
you did.
And you go away happy because the home
Yes, you
team
did.
won.
Especially if you are a fan of the Atlanta Falcons and Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan gets his very first playoff win
Congratulations, Atlanta.
and throws 3 touchdown passes in the process.